broadcast today. I've been feeling like I've been wanting to do a lot of broadcasts lately. This is not gonna be a recurring. Yeah, maybe it would be a recurring thing. I don't know. Depends on the day. Because I'm thinking, doing some Red Dead on here, maybe. I don't know, some other games I can find that I like streaming. Um, you know, but just stuff that I love to play. I will be starting the game in about 5 minutes from now. I just start broadcasting and talk to you guys for a couple minutes, and then I end my last 5 minutes of it the same way. Uh, you know, after the credits and all. I'm gonna be finishing this game in one playthrough. And this one will be going up on YouTube. Um, so, um, so if you miss any of it, you can see it. Um, you know, but on my YouTube channel, I have blogs. I have other games I have done. I did finish Fable 3 with a group of friends. I started some games with some other people, but never finished them. But I don't think I will go back and finish those because uh, they are kind of sad memories for me. But I'm ready to move forward on my channel and move forward with my life and do great things for you guys. You know, I'll be starting in about 3 minutes of the game, so I hope you guys will stop by and start watching. And about 3 minutes from right now, I'll start broadcasting. So it'd be like mm, 10:22 in the morning here where I am, 10:22 around there somewhere. Uh, but I'm gonna be doing this game. Today's game is called the the Shape Shifting Detective. It's made by the people that made Late Shift. And I believe they made one called The Bunker. I have it, but I never played it. Friends said that one's really difficult, but I like these decision making games, and and all that kind of good stuff. So, but this one's gonna be totally awesome. I think this is gonna be over 2 hours broadcast. I think this is gonna be close to three. The maximum on YouTube is 3 hours. But I believe um, that this will be almost a 2 hour broadcast. I'll be starting, like I said, in about 2 minutes. So if you want to get popcorn or um, any snack, or because I don't know what time you're watching this. Good morning, good evening. Um, I'll be starting in 1 minute um, with the game today. You know, I think you guys will like this game. Um, I won't be doing a whole lot of talking in this game because it has a whole bunch of dialogue, but I'll try to talk to you guys before I make any decision because there's no time limit on how long that you take to make a decision. But it's a real neat game because you can change yourself into other people to get more information in the story. So, um, okay, guys, I'm about to start now. So hold on for 1 minute, please. There we go. And here we go with today's game. And away we go. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed the opening.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing. You don't believe? That's okay. Sometimes life is just a stream of coincidences.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. So, what's your question, Sam? The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? Well, enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbours. Just knock if you need me.
9. Just 9. 8 for Emma, and 1 for me. I kiss each bullet for luck as I reload them.
This is our room that we stay in the inn. I did this before going to the police officer because you have to do this part to trigger what they're going to explain to you. So I thought to do this before we leave here and come back here. So
She's fast. Too fast for Jimmy to hit. She tore straight through his gut, pulling out his spine like an afterthought.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered? Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs? To be honest, I thought she'd been smoking something. And that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. They're as thick as thieves, covering for each other. Well, except the male one. You'll see what I mean. Obviously. Anyone who walks in, predicts a murder, then that murder happens? Suspicious. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? Look, if it's about the pills, I already know. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
She really did. She starved herself. She'd done it before. She could do it again. Except before was different. Before, Mother was there. Giving up our...
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already? Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they? Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Demands already? I'm only thinking of doing it. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. I've driven by it, never actually been in it. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
Or fail anymore. She just had to do as she was told. Like the good girl she always was. Look at the baby, the parrot squawked. Poor baby pet.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief DuPont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the Chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. In my room reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
Across the street, 2 young men watched.
The low cloud had brought the day to a premature dusk, and the cold wind had driven people off the streets, and this old time...
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? Everybody thinks that. It's such a cliche. The death card doesn't even mean death. Most of the time. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad. She's like my big sister, so pretty well. No. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah. I've already cleaned it off.
They take the train down to King's Cross, more anonymous than the tube and fewer cameras. Pulled up the hood and...
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way, so it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. Next victim? Whoa! Hold on a sec, we don't even know if there's going to be a next victim or not. We'll do another group reading soon, and then we'll have a better idea. We did a reading. A group reading, actually. With a special tarot deck. The three of us get together and read the same cards. Bronwyn says it makes the whole thing stronger or more powerful or something. But I'm pretty sure I'd get the same answers just on my own. Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. I don't believe in anything. But I also believe anything is possible, so It's a conundrum.
Still tore my head apart when the beast came through. I tried to defy the beast a couple of times, but I learned pretty soon that it was futile. I've had to cut.
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Surely must be others. Cannot believe I am unique amongst all mankind, and if I am, then why?
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
All right, here we go. What's the officer?
Sorry, I don't smoke. I look him in the face. He looks rough. Sweating, even though it's after midnight. And
Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers have mentioned a job. We don't know what. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, and you found out she's taking pills. Perhaps they're related. That's it.
And here we go, people.
I relax and open the gates. Let the Slayer come through. Ringside seat as the Terminator or Bruce Lee or Mike Tyson or all three combined takes control of my body and pours through it.
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
I want to change into her.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
It
This
spills
is why
out,
it's called
greedily
the
laughing it like a
Shapeshifting
cat at pool of
Detective.
spilt milk. A great warm surge of energy courses through me. Just
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Ray. Since when did he start praying?
You think he's lying?
Of course not. This is Rain we're talking about. I was just saying it's odd, that's all. Maybe he's found God?
Broken heap in the shadows, a long walk to the night bus, past a couple of stops, missing one bus.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Wait in the rain. By the time the night bus arrives, the high has passed, leaving me drained and depressed. And as I think about the weeks ahead of me, the paranoid wait to see if they're going to catch me this time, I pay the driver and head for the back of the bus, sit by a window and watch London go by as through the grimy glass. Then there's another long walk through the rain.
Ron, are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm okay.
Good. It's not our fault this stuff happens. We're just the messengers.
We've seen a lot of stuff.
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, we've seen a lot of stuff. You seem weird. Just go and regroup or something, then come back and make me feel better about myself.
Ready for the next time. Because there will be a next time and another after that. Hopefully I'll get a bit of peace and my life can be normal for a while, but in the longer term I can see no end to it. I know I can't resist the Slayer's need. 60 years from now, battering a victim with my walking frame to feed.
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota? Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it? Birmingham?
The Traveller? Dead girls? Ring any bells?
Traveller?
Bron, you're acting weird. Are you still you?
Of course.
Stop freaking me out. It's not cool in this current climate.
Oh, Robin, that sounds like quite a horrible one to wake up to every day. What do you think, Poe? What do you think this perhaps could represent?
Well, Monroe, I think with the photos and the family. So I think there is a perhaps Robin has a.
Miss Castle, I'm surprised to see you here.
I didn't kill Dorota. I didn't kill.
You're a prime suspect, and your alibi is that you were in the guest house with another prime suspect at the time. It doesn't look good for you.
Have you got a problem with me? Have you?
Everyone has a problem with you, Bronwyn. I can arrest you for something right now. How does perverting the course of justice sound?
Kinky.
Yeah, perverting the course of justice.
So, forgetting also suggests that you're feeling overwhelmed, but in this case, family represents feeling warm and loved. The crying can signify, once again, those negative emotions that you're feeling. Now, from what I'm taking from this, Robin, I think you're fine.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
No, wait, I want to go.
Hello, I'm Rain.
that already could be the beginning of finding answers to the sadness.
Have you met the new detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here. What we did. Our role in the murder. What we did. Our role in the murder.
We just predicted murder. It's a prophecy, not a to-do list. I don't want to look like we're hiding something, but at the same time...
We're hiding something?
Look at us acting all cloaks and daggers. Just relax. We haven't done anything wrong.
But I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose today you could wear it as a brooch, maybe. Would they tie it around themselves, perhaps? Attach it to some leather, maybe?
Yeah, again, it's a theme that we've visited before in our shows. It's a Bronze Age.
Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers have mentioned a job. We don't know what. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, and you found out she's taking pills. Perhaps they're related. That's it.
Do you have an inkling what this might be?
So, what I can see here are 3 small metal bells.
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Alright, here we go. I like to go.
Have you noticed any spirits turning up at the station lately?
So does it just invite bad spirits, or?
Not necessarily bad spirits, just could be good spirits.
Yes, he came to see me. He wanted to know that she was okay, spiritually speaking. He confided in me quite a bit, actually. He seemed to appreciate having someone to talk to, and he knew I couldn't tell anyone what he said. Oh, Sam, you know I can't do that. Tarot reader client confidentiality. Oh, she gets easily confused. Youth of today. Fine. Jeeve Dupont was breathing down her neck, so we thought it would be simpler if we stuck together. If these walls weren't separating our rooms, then technically it'd be true. To protect Lexi. None of this is her fault, and she gets anxious easily. I was just trying to take the pressure off. I'm sorry, Sam. I never usually lie. Rain's a big boy. He can handle himself. Besides, I'd be highly suspicious if Rain claimed to be doing anything else other than reading on a Monday night. That's pretty much all he does every night.
Well, You weren't far off, I'll be honest, Poe, but, there are different elements here that I'd like to discuss. So...
Hi, Sam. Back for more already? No, I think Bronwyn met him, though. You'd have to ask her, or him. It's not my place to say. I didn't. How did you find out? Am I in trouble? It was only a little white lie, nothing else. It wasn't even that much of a lie. We're both here, in the guest house. We just happen to be in different rooms. If I had proof, Ron wouldn't have made this all up. I'm sorry, Sam, I really am. I know how this must look, but I couldn't kill anything, honest. Traveller? That's a really old role-playing game, isn't it? Oh, did he now? Well then, you know what I know. I guess you must be a part of our inner circle. How does it feel? Cheeky? Are you flirting with me? Oh dear, am I blushing again? There's a murder to solve. Maybe you should do that first, then me. No, not like that.
Negative people. If what you're doing is a positive thing, then you should always be receiving positive things in return. If they're a negative person, you don't...
Your ability isn't endless. It will run out at some point.
I want to go see her ass. No, I want to visit her. No, yeah, I want to visit her ass. Yeah.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
There simply was no denying that sickening thought. When my car finally...
You have a recognizable knock, Chief DuPont. I'll remember not to answer next time.
Do you know Dorota's boyfriend?
I've met him once, yes.
Just the once?
Unless I've got a body double walking around, yes. Just the once. We talked in confidence. You'll need to ask him if you want the juicy deals.
For me to go, to run. No one saw me. No one knew I even went for a drive. I could just run, and... No, I had to know if I had just killed this girl. So, I took a deep breath.
No.
Rear view mirror. The red glow of my brake lights illuminated the lump lying in the road behind me. A body. There was definitely a body. Run.
Who are you? Right, because the local police are so rubbish. It's been a day, a whole day. It's typical of them. Yeah, I went round there in the afternoon. Her parents were at work, and we were, hanging out. I left at about 5. I'm playing football. It was just 5 aside. Finished at about 9:30. I called her, but she never picked up. Not much. They always seemed happy to see me. I don't think they meant it. They wanted Dorota to focus on her music. Not long, a couple of months maybe. But we did care for each other. No one. She was really popular. What, you mean watching us? That's disturbing. No, it couldn't have been. The only place he could have hidden would be in the closet, and I suppose someone could have hidden in the closet. Well, yeah, it's big enough for 2 people to have sex in. On all fours. She had a few kinks, nothing weird. Yeah, a band from the 60s. I'm not discussing this with you. That's personal. I said I don't want to talk about it. Clothes, mainly. I did see something that freaked me out a bit. She had a wedding dress in there. She knew I'd seen it, but we never talked about it. Not even as a joke. No, not to me anyway. She wasn't into fortune telling or any of that stuff. Yeah, Chief DuPont told me. He thinks it's one of them that killed her. Bronwyn? That's disturbing. Not impossible. I don't think those two ever met. Why would you say that?
Her hand squeezed mine, just a little tighter, as I began to pull her hair away from her face. Her breath was becoming much more shallow, and her grip weakened. The operator answered after the second ring.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Telling her, "Where did this happen?" I looked down at the girl as her chest stopped rising. Her eyes didn't blink, and she no longer gripped my hand. I was gripping hers. I knew she was...
Didn't expect you to come back. Have you contacted Dorota?
No. Yes. She forgives you.
Really? You actually spoke to her? Did she say anything else? Is she okay? Who killed her?
It's hazy. That's all I got.
Okay, that's okay. She forgives me. I guess she didn't have time to elaborate.
I'm sorry the police ignored our prediction. Do you get on with Dorota's family? I'm sorry the police ignored our prediction.
It's okay, just... How did you know? How did you come up with a name and then she's gone?
She's not gone. How could someone even get into Dorota's bedroom? She's not gone.
Waiting to pass? I don't understand. What do you mean, waiting to pass? They haven't even buried her yet. Probably still doing forensics and horrible things to her.
Do you get on with Dorota's family?
Not really. Especially not now. They're convinced I got her into the wrong crowd or something. Am I really a bad influence?
Yes. No.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I know it's a bit soon, but maybe we can grab coffee sometime? Just to chat about things.
No thanks. Yes. That...
I like you, Bronwyn. How about soon? How about tonight? I can come to the guest house?
No, you... Sure.
So it's a date? Sort of. I'll see you soon. Hi. Hey. Hello. Sorry, I'm not used to dating so soon.
I'm actually not in the mood. It's okay. We can...
Oh, I wasn't sure. I was thinking on doing anything, physical.
Get up in the bed. It's okay. We can talk. Just sit on the bed.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. I noticed I've got some Earl Grey in the hallway. I know it sounds a bit rude, but I'd really like some if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, I'll be right back. Actually, I don't like leaving people alone in my room.
Well, what if I wanted you to leave so that I could make myself more comfortable for you?
Get out. I know what you're trying to do.
I have no idea how you knew what was going to happen to Dorota, and neither did the police. We're going to find out, and when we do, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for what you've done.
Metal square, and then it kind of looks like the tag you get on the zipper.
Oh, you were right about the metal. It's bronze again.
Bronze again.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Like.
Well, these are spirit chimes.
Oh.
These is a ghastly sound. We're not going to reproduce that here now. It's like a bell ringing in reverse. The purpose of most spirit chimes, you might know. However, these ones are to invite spirits in.
Oh.
They don't work. I mean, I've had them hanging up at the station for a few months now.
Oscar Wainwright, what a surprise.
Just invite bad spirits, or?
Not necessarily bad spirits, just could be good spirits. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell that one. There's no other use for it. Thanks, Monroe.
Oscar? What are you doing here?
I want to help.
I know. We've already talked about this. You said you'd get into Bronwyn Castle's room somehow and have a look around.
Why? How?
I don't know. Maybe ask if you can go around. Women like vulnerable men.
Do they?
I don't know. Do I look like vulnerable men? Just do whatever you have to, Oscar. I've got to concentrate on some other leads. So, you can go now?
Scene do we have depicted there? What do you think?
Well, what I think I can see is perhaps two people in combat.
Could be combat.
Maybe.
It's funny that you mentioned combat first, because most people actually think this is an erotic scene. And then the second point you made was that it might be people hugging, but most people, apparently most people, think it shows an erotic scene. This is one of many painted leaden plates from the Khazars. A man grabbing the heart of a woman directly from her chest. There was thought of a surgery at the time, but it never really ended well.
Sam, what can I do for you? We didn't. Lexi used a Ouija board to get the name. It's Lexi's thing. I don't personally go near them, but in this case, it did help. No. Lexi needs to give it context from the tarot reading. A lot of the time, it comes up with nothing. Or a sordid comment directed at Lexi. I think that's why she keeps using it, to be honest. Once we thought there was going to be a murder, Lexi used the Ouija board to find out the victim's name. It spelled out Dorota. Just... This is going to sound weird. Most people believe Ouija boards contact the dead.
Hey,
so
well,
if
how
Lexi
are
contacts a dead person, that person needs to know what happens in the future. Ergo, maybe the person she's contacting is from the future. A time traveler who died here.
I'm doing okay. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yes. Well, not just time travel, time and space travel is also possible. If we accept the fact there are multiple realities, we must also accept there are others like us who found a way to travel between these realities. We're trying to save people. I said we're trying. We have a gift. We have Mercury, the tarot. It tells us where bad things are going to happen, and we try and stop them. Birmingham. We couldn't save anyone there either. The problem with travellers is... Well, let's put a pin in this one, Sam.
Actually, I had not been on PlayStation that much lately either. By the time you come on, I'm already resting for the evening. Wise guy.
Let me ask Bronwyn. If she says it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to talk about it.
Okay to go, after a sudden sinkhole in the graveyard exposed the well's contents. That's quite a history to it, doesn't it?
That sounds awful.
Just taking care of Bear and my
Poe's
family.
curiosity shop is now closed.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Outside of his bedroom window. It felt unnatural to be here in this place so far.
Oh, Bron, I'm so glad you're here. We need to talk.
Is something wrong?
No one can hear us, right? I mean, I'm assuming this room isn't bugged, although knowing Violet, there's probably cameras everywhere.
You think Violet's a voyeur?
Yeah, I know.
Probably. I don't know. She has that look about her, don't you think? Like she knows something she's not letting on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's cameras hidden in the wardrobe.
What have you got to hide?
Nothing. Though I'd rather she didn't see me dancing around in my underwear. I only do that for people I love.
Do you love me?
Why are you looking at me like that? Anyway, we need to talk about our alibi.
What about our alibi?
I know you said it would be better if we said we were together, but lying about your alibi, that's pretty serious. Are you sure it was a good idea?
We should do whatever it takes.
You're acting like we've got something to hide. Bron, is there something you're not telling me? Why'd you ask me to lie? Were you really in your room all night?
Yes.
Then stop with the cloak and dagger stuff, alright?
Yeah, and it's only $12 now. It's made by the people that made Late Shift, if you remember me doing that game Water.
Gang Whitfield were all experts in their fields, those being paleontology, linguistics, and exobiology respectively.
Hello, I'm Rain.
A hole of less than 2 meters wide that seemed to go on for several kilometers into the ground.
Don't forget the group reading, Ray. By which I mean, if you see Lexi, tell her not to forget the group reading.
What's the plan?
We still don't know what we're dealing with. There's every chance that it could just be a normal human murder.
What if it's not a normal human murder?
Then we have to assume that it's some kind of traveller.
Like in Birmingham?
Yeah.
like in Birmingham.
Probes down the hole in order to determine how much deeper it went. They had been doing this for the last 14 days, much to Dimitri's growing. If it did. Is it really wise to send more probes down the hole? Dimitri asked as they went over their plans. The three other scientists looked at him questioningly.
It's Lexi's. I like to think it works the way most metaphysical things work, through energy.
Oh, you like Lexi? I'll go visit. I'll visit her next.
Everything is energy. You, me, that chair. If you focus hard enough on something, you attract energy, like an electrical current that connects A to B and lights up a bulb.
That prompted him to volunteer himself, much to the surprise of the others. I will, he insisted. I'll do it. The three scientists all looked at each other, silently wondering if Dimitri had gone crazy, but they were too tired.
Oh, it's just your run-of-the-mill spirit communication device. Want to know how it works?
Yup. I wish I could do this,
I understand you've got people to see, places to go.
Feeble apparatus. When no alternative had presented itself, Dimitri had once again insisted that he be strapped in. Dimitri took a deep breath. Let's do it then. The three other scientists standing behind it.
Any more news on Oscar Wainwright? Yep, that's what he told me too. Not a suspect. Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them. Dorota's an only child. She lived with her mum and dad. Monday night was movie night, so they'd go and watch the 8 o'clock at the Odeon. Dorota would get the house to herself. They're devastated, naturally. They left town to stay with relatives. They didn't do it, Sam. Although, perhaps I should have made them stay. Figures. Got any proof? Get proof. Then I can haul them in.
500, 600, 700. Nearing the end of the rope now, she informed Dimitri at 800 meters. If we lose communication, just... The rest was inaudible. After plummeting what was probably a few hundred meters more, he jerked to a sudden halt. That's the end of the rope. He could almost convince himself that he was doing it for the recording device on his arm, or in the small hope. Unsettling silence that commanded this deep and dark void. All right, let's have some light, he said as he turned on the small lamp on his helmet. Eyes of the tunnel. Only now did it occur to him how narrow the tunnel really was. If he got stuck somehow, there was no way for anyone to help him out. He desperately tried to dismiss the thought and focus on his work. Not much to see here, just more smooth black surfaces and...
It won't want it.
There's some scratches here. Did I do it
how
just
you
now?
doing on Red Dead?
No, they're not scratches. It appears to be some sort of writing. Dr. Utani, if you're hearing this, prepare to make history. You're going to have a field day with this. I'll be sure to get some pictures for you. Dimitri.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Cut. He placed the piece of paper over the etchings and proceeded to rub it with the pencil. Copying all of the writing took longer than he would have liked. It wasn't easy to find some of the small markings in the pitch black dark.
That door was locked, and you said there's only one key. So how would you know?
Dimitri was done with his task. He'd gotten so used to the sound of the scratching pencil that it still lingered in his... Until he realised two things. It wasn't in his head. There were whispers.
Man.
Overcome by a sudden and severe dread, Dimitri frantically jerked on the rope. There was no response. Yelling up the shaft. Pull me up! Get me out of here, please! He swore he heard laughter coming from down below. As Dimitri's heart died out, he tried climbing up the rope in a panic. Finally, he felt the sweet release of slowly being lifted up towards the surface. Faster! Please go faster! He pleaded the moment communication was restored.
Please, man.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Exhausted. He hadn't told anyone about the whispers in the dark for fear of being mocked, or worse, being declared mental. The audio tape from his recorder on the way back to his quarters, and was unable to discern any unusual sounds.
Why is Sam still questioning me? Do I need to bring up Mr. Hedges again?
Are you threatening me? Who is Mr. Hedges? Are you threatening me?
Excuse me? Of course not. We just agreed that with the meds I'm on, stuff like this might get out. Remember?
He was able to create a rough translation of the word, or rather something that approximated its meaning. As people of science, they had all agreed how disturbing it was that, to the civilization that adopted this word, curiosity was a concept to be closely associated with wickedness, something to be punished.
I want to see if I can go.
As he contemplated the day's events,
Chief DuPont, there's been loads of people coming around asking questions. I don't even know half of them.
Did Dorota collect coins?
Not that I know of. She collected thimbles. She said she didn't need any. She had hard calluses on her fingers from all the cello.
Have you looked in Dorota's bedroom? Did Dorota have any enemies?
Maybe anyone else going for a Juilliard scholarship? But other than that, not really.
Hands against his eyes, trying hopelessly to rub the blackness out of them. His befuddlement slowly turned to horror as he came to the terrifying realization that he had gone blind. Panicking, Dimitri stumbled out of bed, felt his bare the hallway. Help! He stammered. Somebody help! No one answered. He continued into the common area of the base, which he knew to be consistently occupied by crew members. He asked and waited. Again.
Violet told you about Mr. Hedges? Mr. Hedges was one of August's homeless, actually, probably our only homeless person. We're pretty well off here. No, we called him Mr. Hedges because, well, that's where we found him. I asked Violet to put him up one night, and of all the nights he could have died, he croaked it at the guest house. No, of course not. That's what Violet thinks, but I just drove him off to the morgue and had him processed. Don't tell Violet that, though. We need her on our side. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Roman and Lexi lied about their alibis. I'm thinking what to do about it. Apparently, Lexi used a Ouija board to get Dorota's name. The tarot readers mentioned Birmingham. You're looking into it. There's some talk about a traveller, whatever that is. Oscar's not a suspect. He was playing football last night with lots of witnesses. According to Oscar, Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet, which is strange. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. That's it.
This is how you die. Dimitri tried to scream, but there was no sound. He reached for his throat and felt his skin peel away. Dr. Sheffield, come in, Dr. He didn't realise where he was until he noticed he was suspended in the air. As he ascended the shaft, he wondered which part had been a dream and what had been reality. It all felt the same to him. He quickly... After he copied the notes, must have been some kind of hallucination, he concluded, possibly caused by a gas or an unfamiliar type of radiation.
She flaunts herself. Her body. Had boudoir photographs taken. Who do you think those photos were for, Sam? Her mother?
Wise ass.
Ask Zach Weston. He took them. The vicar's son? No, as far as I can tell, Oscar is a good boy. But we've all got different faces now, haven't we, Sam? The masks we wear. I could be a satanic cultist behind closed doors, but you'd never know. Would you, Sam? Zach's the local photographer. You should go and talk to him, Sam. You're good at talking. At Weston's Photographic, off the high road. It's late, but he's always there. I have a good memory. I'm still holding grudges from when I was 4.
Sure, I remembered what those writings meant, he said, as he frantically pointed at the notes Dr. Utani was holding.
It's 7 o'clock, and here's the latest August update. Chief DuPont of August Police is urging residents to be vigilant tonight following the brutal murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Whilst he stresses there is no immediate threat to the community at large, residents should be on the lookout until the killer is in police custody. Miss Shaw was found strangled in her bedroom home last night. Poe, I heard she was found by her mother.
Truly awful. Mother caught me up to all sorts of mischief in my bedroom. Also in the news, emergency services were called to the crossroads at Grange Avenue and Church Street following a collision between 2 cars. There are no reports of any serious injuries, but you might want to take a different route for now.
Oh no. It's going to be one of those nights, Poe.
Stay with me, doll. I'll keep you safe.
I'm not going anywhere. That's 7 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Out anything out of the ordinary. Perhaps the others were right. Perhaps it was all...
Sorry, we're closed. Come back tomorrow or make an appointment online. Yes. What do you want? I already told the police she did all those things of her own accord. I didn't force her to do anything. Oh! The road to shore. Sorry, I'm afraid I didn't know her that well. For the August Chronicle, she won some sort of award. I remember her cello. It kept reflecting the flash and ruining the shot. No, I went to her house, along with the reporter. It's better with these human interest stories to capture them in a natural habitat. If you asked me to drive there without my sat-nav, no. No, actually, I've been running a special offer on portraits since she came in for a studio session. Wait there. As you can see, there's photos here. Her on the cello. Now this one's in colour. Beautiful hair. Oh, legs wrapped around. Another one here. Oh, hang on.
Where?
Do you see what I see?
Oh, you.
Nothing else?
Okay, you wise guy.
Never mind. What do you mean? I don't think I like what you're implying, Detective. Is that all? Friends? Yes. I know Violet very well. Violet takes it very well, actually. I like him like that. With a frosty exterior comes a soft, warm center. I'm sorry my analogy wasn't explicit enough for you. Yes, we have sex. Here. I'm usually here most nights.
I know.
I live here, Detective. Long story short, I'm divorced. My wife bought the house, my business is all I have left.
Effort into something, but they don't get redeemed for it. They have to put everything back the way it was.
You know what, Poe? I think you might need a promotion.
To deputy dream interpreter.
I mean, keep going the way you're going and I might be out of a job.
Do we really have to? Is that what he calls it? I'm not sure what we have, Sam, and I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have it. Being with Zach is no paradise, I can tell you. It's like his reproductive genes rule every decision he makes. I just want someone who will hold the door open for me, bring me tea in bed.
Every relationship that you have with someone should be equal, and you should.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I'm gonna be a little bad right
A lot
now.
of food for thought for this listener, and I hope she takes some wonderful lessons from it.
Thank you for your dreams.
Well, hello, gorgeous.
Did you? I came over last night, but you weren't here. Did you hear about Dorota?
Everyone in town's heard. She's a local celebrity now.
Local celebrity? Were you sleeping with her?
Violet? Of course not. I only have eyes for you.
That's not what I heard.
This again. I told you, I'm not seeing anyone else. I have gorgeous women in my studio all the time, but you're special. Not because you won't take off your clothes, I'm expecting that at some point. It's just, You're so clever and well educated. And the icing on the cake, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever met.
I came over last night, but you weren't here.
Well, that explains why there was no answer when I called you. I was definitely here.
And there would be a tidal wave to feast upon, and this demon was nothing if not patient, ever present.
I like to be a little bad
until the virus got her, until the sick.
Now watch it.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
For the demon in their heart. Most people do anyway.
Zach! What are you doing here? Quick, don't let anyone see you.
Why don't you want anyone to see me? Everyone's talking about Dorota. Why don't you want anyone to see me?
What? You're the one who said we shouldn't be seen together. What are you doing here?
I wanted to make sure we were still okay.
What did you do? What did you say to Sam?
Everyone's talking about Dorota. Are you happy Dorota's dead? Everyone's talking about
I know. But I suppose people like that attract trouble.
People like what?
Homewreckers. Anyway, I hope you didn't just come here to talk about Dorota.
Are you happy Dorota's dead?
I didn't say that. But we both know what Dorota was like. She practically threw herself at you.
She did. Why'd you think that?
The boudoir sessions. Some girls get the wrong idea. I saw how she was looking at you. She wanted it.
You were there. You saw the photos. You were there.
No, silly. But I saw the photos.
Need it anymore? When I'm gone, Mum will take care of my cat. No one will miss me anyway. No one heard her. They never do. Or tried at least. Girls almost never get it right on the... Round her pillow as she laid back, holding the bottle above.
Sam, look, I can't talk right now. I'm doing phone readings. Gotta pay for a John somehow. Lexi's locked in till 8 too. I can sort you out afterwards, yeah?
Parasite in her heart. Of course they don't. You'll sleep, and it'll be over. What's it matter any...
We've got to stop meeting like this. Seriously though, Sam, I'm working. Can't it wait? Just give me to 8, okay?
More. No more. But of course there was more. Pills don't work very well. She'd only gotten sick, was taken to the hospital before the pills tore...
I found out I'm not a good liar. I wanted to be guilty, but...
Oh, thank you for the follow.
No? Who's that? Never heard of him. Who what? Boudoir photos? She sent some private photos to me by phone. Do you mean them? Yeah, I'll put them in an album for you. No.
Agent, it needed an audience, and they made it. On posters, told her tragic story, painted the town red with her hair and her blood, satiated the awful curiosity of the audience, fed the other demons, gave them a bigger home, a louder voice, and
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
And he didn't. The demons are already there. They just need ears to listen. It wasn't hard to make the boy listen after the first bell. No one would go to your funeral. But your father and sister. A little lying goes a long way after the virus.
Rain! I'm surprised to see you here. I take it you know about Dorota already. All that stuff we talked about yesterday, that's strictly between you and me.
What stuff?
That's the spirit. Now, I think it's best if we don't get caught speaking to each other. Overcautious, I'm sure, but I think it's for the best nonetheless. Maybe we can get together for a lad's night out after this is all blown over. Yeah?
Okay. No, thanks. Okay.
Great. Well, I'll see you soon.
The tree branch or his trachea. The note they found in his room led them down the street, past the bridge, past the empty house to the forest. He was long dead when they found him. The demon.
This game is
I'm
only
Oscar.
$10.
Is there anything else I can do?
$12 now. I forgot 12. Yeah, because I thought it was 10 because I got pre-ordered it. And
People on shore until only the sand remained. The demon always spread like a person with no touch, no shared germ. Just an audience full of awful.
Try it one more time. Let's see. I'm doing
Dream.
pretty good.
And nightmares.
With Poe and Monroe. So Simeon's written in to say, I'm climbing the stairs of a tall stone tower, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And I...
Okay.
What do you think, Poe?
Well, that is...
Let's go in my room again.
Quite
Go in my room here, and I want to change into...
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
So, what I think is happening here is that you are striving for success, but you don't feel worthy of it. And it could be you're suffering from imposter.
Hello. I know you. You're the police chief.
I understand that you knew Dorota Shaw.
We met briefly, yes. I freelanced for the August Chronicle, and they did a story about her.
Was that the first time you met her?
As far as I know. I meet a lot of people through work. Some are more memorable than others. I happened to mention my portrait services, so she booked a session with me.
When was this?
A few weeks ago.
What type of photos do you take?
For the paper. Record shots that any idiot with a phone can take. My studio is where the magic happens. Mainly portraiture, but I dabble in other areas.
Boudoir photography? Dirty pictures? Boudoir photography?
Sometimes, if that's what the client wants. Are you asking for yourself, or...?
It's for the case. Don't be facetious. It's for the case.
Of course.
Queen Anchisenamun undressing, the wife of King Tut. The king ordered that Busan be shrunk by mystics, and the process caused the pain you see on his face. As far as I can tell, I have the only one.
Well, I wish I hadn't seen this.
Poe's curiosity shop is now closed.
Chief? Again?
Did Dorota have any online friends?
She didn't really use any social networks. Didn't have the time. Mainly just cello.
Go to any clubs or groups? Do you have access to her email? Go to any clubs or groups?
She helped out at a Rainbows group. I think it's like Cub Scouts for little kids. Did that with her mum. But, I don't know. Unless she was strangled by a 9-year-old.
Do we have depicted there? What do you think?
Well, what I think I can... Combat?
Could be combat.
Maybe they're hugging?
It's funny that you mentioned combat first, because most people actually think this is an erotic. This is one of many painted leaden plates from the Khazars, and as such is over 1,000 years old. And it's not an erotic scene. It's not people hugging. It's not combat. It's
He sounds great.
yeah, what a nice guy. It was a practice that was thought of as surgery at the time, but it never really ended well. I mean,
1, 2,
it's kind of quite a
3.
literal rope.
Imagine.
Poe's curiosity
How you
shop
doing?
is now
Welcome.
closed.
Dreams
And
and Monroe. Okay, so we've heard from Alex, and Alex has said that they have the same dream every...
I met him yesterday, doing the rounds, looking for reading work. Actually, oh no. He did mention Dorota. He said there was this girl he was planning to meet up with. Said she was alone every Monday night because her parents go to the cinema. Do you know what that means? It was Dorota Shaw. I bet he is. It was that thing I told you about Dorota. I mean, I didn't know it was her then. He wanted to show me these explicit photos of her, but I refused. And that's when he told me about her being alone on Mondays. I wonder who else he told that to. Fine, Sam. Birmingham. Mercury took us to Birmingham. We didn't know what for. We never really know what for. But we turned up. It started with a girl, Ginny. She was South African. I only mention it because that was its thing. Yeah. We didn't know at the time, but in hindsight, it was after South African girls. 3 to be exact. The traveller wanted...
Is this
3.
$12 now?
You should ask Bronwyn. She's the one that knows about rights. I just know it normally involves 3, and all 3 share
no
a common
problem,
attribute.
man. It's in the Microsoft Store. It's also on PlayStation, PC. There are other games that made by them. Another one's called Late Shift. It's basically the same kind of game.
I guess you might call them demons, in as much as they can get inside us. They come from other worlds. Some religions talk of demons, but they don't actually exist. Travelers can get inside us and make it look like we're possessed, hence the demons.
This is one of my favorite ones so far of theirs.
Yes, disturbingly. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. They choose a reality/universe where they actually evolve to become the person they're possessing. So they jump in a few million years before our timelines intersect. They can't just jump into someone. It takes a few hours for that. They make the decision before they travel, which is why we can catch them.
I would give this a perfect score for this kind of game. I really would. You know, if you like these kind of games, this is one of my favorite ones.
Yes, probably. The tarot doesn't just sat-nav us to normal murders.
Thanks for the follow, man. I do all kinds of games on here. I'm also on PlayStation. You can follow me on YouTube with the same gamer username. On Instagram, OG DJ Tom Slick, and on Snapchat, DJ Tom Slick.
And we'll be back tomorrow. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. This is what the object is that you are holding.
I can't talk to her yet.
I mean, it's very, very heavy.
Next day.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe. Identical quadruplets, aged 17. Apparently their essence remains ingrained in the mangle. But I obviously can't vouch for that.
Why were they crushed?
Good question. I do not know.
Oh gosh. You can have it back.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. Welcome to Poe. There you go, Alice. What's this object? What do you think?
Well, it's quite heavy, and it feels like I think perhaps it's metal of some sort.
Rain. Yes, the Tower Reader. Delightful fella, but I couldn't offer him anything. He asked if he could do readings for my customers while they waited. Can't have that really, it's retail ambush. He offered, but I declined. There's no such thing as fate, detective. If there was, you could stop investigating right now. If you're supposed to find a killer, you will. Why put in the effort?
One of a pair originally donated to August Public Library by Lord Worth. It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Discovering lots of empty rooms I'd forgotten I had. Every time I find...
If you have anything else on Zach Weston, let me know. That's what he says, but no one can back him up. He's on my radar now. I think you're supposed to tell me that. If he was taking photos of Dorota, maybe he fell for her? And the feeling wasn't mutual. Artists have muses, apparently. Wish I had one. And I'm all for a good boudoir picture, but who are they for? There's definitely a strong connection between those two then. Well, unless they were for Oscar, I don't know. Unless there's someone else about to come out of the woodwork. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. Rain met Zach already, touting for work. Zach told Rain Dorota would be alone last night. Zach says he's sleeping with Violet, which I doubt. Zach did other photo sessions with Dorota. Boudoir. I wonder what else he's not telling us. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. You're still following up Birmingham. Keep me posted. Yeah, he mentioned the word traveller to me, but he's nothing. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
Worried that you're not living up to your potential. And if I'm honest, I think you're also plagued by insecurities about your ability, perhaps, to be the person you wish you could be. But Lena... Thank you for your dreams.
Welcome to Poe's Q. There you go, Alice. What's this object? What do you think?
Well, it's quite heavy.
Hello, I'm Rain.
Chinese dragon?
Quite a dragon.
You have a lovely guest house.
It is quaint, isn't it? It's all my parents had when they died. We're literally sitting in my inheritance.
How did your parents die?
Father died first. Heart attack. They found him in the freezer when Mother died. She had a pulmonary embolism. I didn't really talk to them much.
Freezer?
Yes, she kept him in the chest freezer because she didn't want to be alone. Stored him perfectly. Still use it today.
Oh, something that guards against evil.
I think I'd quite like to have a guard against...
Just at the moment. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. You're listening to Radio August. Monroe.
Mark Clausen. Ivan was woken by the crowing of his cat. This was nothing new. He opened his eyes to find Uni standing on his chest. Her mom.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
She'd got something to show him. He hoped it was a mouse or a He'd had too many stunned, lopsided sparrows flapping around his kitchen. One robin, several blackbirds, usually downy fledgling, hadn't even grown yet. Last time, she caught a magpie. Present to him. Its pitiful cack, 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 its only protest. He'd had to put that one out of its misery. He put all of them out of their misery. A stamp to the head, the tiniest cracking of skull, blood and feathers on the ground. It was kinder that way.
I'm Zach Weston, just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Blue, pink nose, pink ears, so fluffy. The cutest thing.
Zach, let me stop you there. You are one creepy fellow. Now, I don't know what you had going on with Dorota, but I don't want anything to do with it. Do not come back here. Please.
Its back legs lay helplessly on the floor. No, no, no. Ivan dropped. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Tears blurred his vision. Don't move, okay? Just don't try to move. But the kitten wouldn't stop struggling.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
His eyes hard to try to erase the sight. It didn't work, of course. As Uni padded over to inspect the darkening towel. Blood. And she lowered her head to lap it hungrily. Ivan pushed her away. Not for you. He sat in silence until he could no longer hear his own breathing, until Uni stopped pacing and sat grudgingly opposite him, until the...
Sensing the thing with Bronwyn went badly.
Why did you put me up to it?
I need all hands on deck. You're a hand. At least I thought you were.
Nothing happened.
Never mind. At least you tried.
Is there anything else?
No, you've done enough. I'll keep up my end of the bargain, make those speeding tickets go away, though technically you'd have more points than a hedgehog if I kept them. And if I do catch you speeding in August again, Oscar, instant ban. Capiche?
Yes.
Yes.
Uni jumped up on the bed and Noah leaned forward to nuzzle her nose. Have you brought something for Mummy? And placed the kitten on the duvet. Did you... Didn't I mention it? She started pulling at the fur. She hadn't mentioned it. Ivan would have remembered. He lay down and closed his eyes, listening to her tearing the kitten's skin. Thanks, babe, she said. No worries, said Ivan. Anything for you.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. There you go, Alice. What's this object? What do you think?
Well, it's quite heavy, and it feels like...
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Chinese dragon?
Not quite a dragon.
With
Yes.
wings?
You're right.
A winged lion?
Lion dog.
Of course.
You were right about Asian. A Chinese bronze lion dog statue. With wings. One of a pair originally donated to August Public Library. Well, sold to raise funds.
Okay.
The library burned down 3 weeks after their sale. Would you believe it?
Wow.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I'd quite like to have a guard against evil.
In particular in August at the moment. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now renosed. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Read by... Ivan was woken by the crowing of his cat. This was nothing new. He opened his eyes to find Uni standing on his chest, her mottled face
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
Meow was an order. This could only mean one thing. Ivan on the t-shirt. She waited for him to stand, then led him down to the kitchen, herding his slow bare feet in dangerously tight circles. Experience told Ivan he hoped it was a mouse or a vole. He'd had too many stunned, lopsided sparrows flapping around his kitchen. One robin, several blackbirds, usually downy fledgling. Last time, she caught a magpie. It was bigger than her body, yet she still picked it up. Cack, cack, it's only protest. He'd had to put that one out of its misery. He put all of them out of their misery. A stamp to the head, the tiniest cracking of skull, blood and feathers on the ground. It was kinder that way.
Here we go.
The kitchen was quiet.
Back to my normal self. And go back to the police station.
What is that? A rat? No, not a rat. A cat.
I don't think she'll talk to me anymore. I don't think.
Uni.
Okay.
She circled the kitten's body, stepping over its limp legs without even looking, her eyes fixed on him.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Alright. No.
He stood and raised his foot.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update.
No, I hit
Police
the wrong
investigating the
button
death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
See people, but
Opposite him, until the blood slowed and started to drip.
Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. Rain met Zach already, touting for work. Zach told Rain Dorota would be alone last night. Zach says he's sleeping with Violet, which I doubt. Zach did other photo sessions with Dorota. Boudoir. I wonder what else he's not telling us. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. You're still following up Birmingham. Keep me posted. Yeah, he mentioned the word traveller to me, but he's nothing. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
The bed and placed the kitten on the duvet. Did you order this? Did I mention it? She started pulling at the fur. She hadn't mentioned. Down and closed his eyes, listening to her tear between chews. No worries, said.
Well,
welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Okay, so please explain to the listeners what the object is that you are holding.
I mean, it's got engravings on it. I think they're animals?
Interpret them as animals.
But there's 4 figures on it. Perhaps
useful, what do you think?
only use I can see is maybe to hang something on, like a.
It's good house, kind of, it's a household item.
I honestly.
I doubt you've ever used one of those. You've never used. Its only job is literally to flatten bed sheets. That's what it is.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody takes that amount of care nowadays. But this particular man in Kiruna in the 1960s.
Oh my gosh.
They were all identical quadruplets, aged 17.
What?
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
The only thing I can think
Curiosity
of.
shop is now closed. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Calling. Read by Jessa. I love you, she said. Then she cut off her face. It took a lot of effort with the butter knife. And trying to saw. And it caught her still smiling mouth as part of her head tipped forward and free. I expected to see a dripping cross-section of frontal lobe, nasal.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
More than a prison for your consciousness. Your wardens have long since forgotten you. When I used... Perhaps I was the messenger. Yes, I understand now. I'm the messenger. Must set free.
Poe's Curiosity Shop. Hey.
I actually think this one's a little bit
I'm actually
clearer
stoned
than
at
other
the
ones we've had
moment.
on previous shows.
Streaming for a long
This one
time.
is also heavy, because everything seems to be made out of wood and metal. So this one has got a heavy metal handle, and then it's got a circular face, and what looks like could have perhaps been maybe a shiny metal.
What
Where is it from?
area?
Oh,
Where in the world? No.
Just trying to think.
A while ago we had a story from this part of the world as well. Do you remember?
Let's see who I did become. Oscar was Trident.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Oh, it's from Egypt.
Yes. So, I'll explain it to you. What do you think you might do with the mirror?
If I'm honest, a weapon of combat, but then if I look at it more closely, I would say a mirror, a handheld mirror.
You're right. Well, but it's not just a mirror. Your hairstyle. By the way, you have impeccable hairstyle today.
Thank you very much,
as usual. Is a reflecting mirror, but it was used for teleportation. Allegedly, eyes think of being somewhere else and you're there.
Should we try it?
Me?
Oh.
Maybe works for you. You try it.
Okay, so I'm just going to imagine somewhere else. And...
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Is now closed.
Poe and Monroe. Okay, so we've heard from Alex. Now it's a woman lying in a lake with her eyes closed and her black hair streaming beneath the surface. She must be dead. Then she opens her eyes, and I realize it's not her that's underwater. I mean, This one sounds quite dark and complex, Alex, so we... Do you have any idea?
The closing of the eyes, I mean, that's interesting. So she wants to, at least the person she's
I thought I
observing in
would
the dream
finish this time, guys, but I didn't.
Not,
so,
or does not want to face the world.
I don't remember exactly how to finish this, but this is a
So,
long broadcast.
It's
and
almost the
I'm kinda
person
tired at
dreaming
the
is
moment.
trying to project onto the other person that they're closing themselves off from.
You know, it's that I'm just trying
Again,
to
Alex, thank you very much for sharing this one with us. I would love to talk about this one in further detail because actually it's dealing with something that's quite emotional, because the imagery of the lake actually, it relates to your emotional state of mind. And now the black hair in this dream actually also relates to the repression of emotion. And then the drowning actually relates to emotional stress. So if I'm honest, Alex, and I hope you're listening to me now, and perhaps it's a secret about someone else that you have perhaps common. And obviously, as we know, repression of emotion,
She doesn't want to say anything.
you find
either.
someone to reach out to. But thank you again for sharing with us.
Oh, I'm so impressed again, Monroe. You're so observant.
I try.
Hopefully, this lady can take something from this.
Thank you for your dreams.
Alright, but guys, I hope you enjoyed
What's
this
object?
look into this game.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police
not gonna
investigating
let
the death of
me
21-year-old Dorota Shaw
try
have said
after
there's
this
no
time.
evidence
If it
to
moves
connect
on,
her
I will
boyfriend to the
continue.
murder. Chief
If
DuPont's
not,
statement was
I'm
delivered in
gonna
response
stop
to
here, and
speculation
I'll
from
try
local
again.
residents that it was a crime of
Possibly
passion.
tomorrow
Miss Shaw's
to do
strangled
it.
body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim.
I
isn't it,
love
what they say?
broadcasting.
But that poor boy.
Streaming and all that
A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sam.
Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we
We've
go.
done a
We're
reading.
not stuck now, so I'm gonna keep on going because we're near the end.
So 5 of Swords. That's the same card as yesterday.
Let's hope it's not the Knight of Wands. This doesn't look good.
It's fine. This happens all the time. There are 78 cards in a deck. The same ones come up a lot.
I get it, but we drew the exact same cards yesterday. What are the odds of pulling all 3 again?
1 in 474,552. I know. I get asked a lot.
Bet it's a 10 of Swords.
It's happening again. There's going to be another murder. Then Lexi did her thing, and now we have a name. Ellis Monroe.
Very good.
That's something you could say about most dreams that are recurring dreams.
Of course.
There's an unresolved...
You must be Sam.
I just got off the phone with Chief DuPont. I can't believe it. First Dorota, now me. Yes. We were friends. I hadn't known her for long, only a few weeks. We met at the gala. I was hosting and she was playing the cello, you know? I guess we talked for a little while and then she asked me for a drink after the show. After we'd had a few drinks, she invited me back to her house. I thought we were just gonna chat, watch a movie, that sort of thing. Then she kissed me. I was so shocked. She was so attractive. So I kissed her back. This is just between us, right? We fooled around. I don't have many friends, Sam. Everyone thinks because I'm on the radio, I have tons of friends, so nobody ever approaches me. I get lonely. But Dorota was my friend, and I liked making her happy. Poe and Dorota, people I say hi to. I have thousands of followers and subscribers, and they keep me feeling warm when I'm down, but they're not friends. I do get the odd stalker, but that isn't something anyone wants. Oscar. Yeah. She was a bit confused. When we started seeing each other, she didn't like him touching her anymore. I didn't mind. But she did. So I told her if he wanted to get sexual, then maybe she should try something else. I said some guys like to watch, so tell him it would be sexy if he could look but he couldn't touch. As far as I know, it worked. The killer was in her wardrobe? What? Well, then it had to be Oscar. He's the only one it could be. That doesn't make any sense. Then she was seeing someone else? No. Someone she knew. Knew she'd be alone? A stalker? I don't think so. We were very discreet. It was more fun that way. We're co-hosts on the radio. Oh, sorry. You know that already. We've been partners for 2 years now. He's a good friend. He's on air at the moment, but he'll be finished at 8:30. On air? We both were. We broadcast live hourly news reports. It's how we keep our funding. Not very well. He's done a few shoots of me and Poe to promote the show. He's fine. He keeps asking me to pose for him, you know, without any clothes on. I always say no. No. Sorry. I did have a strange dream last night, though. My life was playing on a TV screen, and every time I did something, another version of me started playing over the first. In the end, there were so many versions it became a fog. It filled my lungs. I couldn't breathe. And then I woke up. What do you think that means, Sam? I don't know what. I mean, I'm anxious now. Maybe it was predicting Dorota's death.
Thank you, little mama.
Or mine. That sounds reassuring. I hope it's not just words, Sam. You've kind of just asked about Dorota since you got here. Sam, you forgot your phone.
I take the train down to King's Cross, more anonymous than the Tube and fewer cameras. pulled up the hood, and walk out.
Monroe. Everyone knows her. She's a local radio star here. I always get the shot, Sam. One way or another.
Spray from the puddles in the road. I weave and stumble a bit. Just a bloke who's had a skinful in his
Darn, wrong button.
hostile eyes on the dark end of the street.
Sam, do me a favour, go easy on Violet. If we need to get anything out of her, let me deal with it. She'll open up to me. We've got a new target, Ellis Monroe. Ellis said she was in a relationship with Dorota. She kissed a girl and she liked it. She told you where John Pope, or Poe, is going to be next. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. And he keeps asking Ellis to pose nude. Could be motive. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
I don't know how many the beast could take. I once watched it overwhelm 3 skinheads who thought I was their victim, and they were young, strong, and used to getting stuck in. It was worse the second time.
You're only alive because we want you to be.
Prepare, get some clothes together, do a bit of reconnaissance. I couldn't count on being so lucky a second time. It still tore my head apart when the beast came.
So what's the news about Ellis? I feel so useless sitting here. I want to help. Yes, please use me. Tell me what to do. You got it. Me and the spirit world are going to have a serious chat. I'll get back to you when I find something.
Casual relationships have foundered on this rock. You won't let anyone get close to you.
I've heard on the radio, but other than that, I don't know anything about her. I want to help them. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Although we can be sure of one thing. Not necessarily. If it's a traveler, then they just jump into any vessel, have their fun and go. It just needs to be someone nearby. A little bit. What did you want to know? A rite can take many forms, but from what we know about these travelers, it seems to be performing some kind of coming-of-age ceremony. Yes, a rite of passage. Running havoc in our dimension is rewarded in theirs. Not fair, is it? Three is a powerful number. There's a divine balance to it in our universe anyway. But maybe it doesn't mean anything where the traveler's from. Maybe 3 is just the carry-on limit for interdimensional travel. Was it a gold coin? I should have known. That's the same as Birmingham. Although they beheaded the victims, they all had gold coins in their mouths. It's their way of marking their territory to prove it's their work. No. I can do a reading if you want. Well then, that's the end of my Zach Wiki. Yes, of course, anything. Why Violet? Do you think she's in danger? You don't think she's involved, do you? Leave it with me, I'll see what I can find out. And don't worry, I'll be super discreet.
In need of his medicine. Well, he had more choice.
Excellent work. Gold star for you. Oh, hello. This is my goddaughter, Sophia. She's only 9 and she's a maths genius.
Hello.
I have to pop to my room to get something. Be nice to her while I'm gone. Otherwise I might have to smother you in your sleep.
What's your name? I'm Sophia. Pleased to meet you. Do you want to know a secret? Violet was taken by aliens in their ship. Shh. She doesn't want anyone to know.
Sorry about that. Sophia, your mother will be here for you soon, so run along and wait. Now, Sam, how can I help you? She has a wicked imagination for her age. Do you think you're sitting here now? Perception is reality, Sam. I needed to confide in someone, so I told Chief Dupont. Just Chief Dupont. And now you, apparently. Why are you talking about this again? You understand, every time you mention abduction, it opens up a vault of crushing memories that I'd rather stay locked up. I don't really want to. About a month ago, the guest house was empty and I was alone in my bedroom. All I could hear was dripping. A cold tap. Drip. 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 And then it began. I could smell iron, a strong metallic smell. Then I could taste it on my tongue. And then weightlessness. Like time and space had stopped. That was the first time they took me. It's happened 5 times, even on clozapine. Get that strange aura, then I'm gone. I had tests for epilepsy, amongst other things. But all the scans were normal. As far as I know, I've gone. It's difficult to explain. I'm stuck in the wall of an enormous room made from these wooden vines, except the vines slowly move and drip with pain. My head is pushed out like I'm a trophy. If I look to my side, there are others' heads, all prisoners, being experimented on. They rearrange us like decorations, suck us backwards into the darkness and then thrust us back through the wall. And when they return me home, I'm broken. Cuts. Bruises. Memories. Of course! Poe and Monroe. She's on the radio. Yes, I believe I did. She was here once for something. Don't remember now.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
The roof of the Mandela Tower block. Gravity accelerates me towards the pavement, 32 stories below. Tenzin taught me that the secret was to never hit the ground.
Chief DuPont, thanks for calling in.
I'm just checking you're safe.
At the moment, my heart's beating 1,000 times a minute and I can't sit still. Every noise or knock on the door makes me jump out of my skin, and I keep looking behind me. Is that safe?
Have I ever let you down? What's really worrying you?
That you're just saying you're doing things when you're not actually doing anything. What's the plan, Chief DuPont? How do we stop this from happening? How do we stop me from dying?
I pieced together fragments of Tenzin's story. A former monk. Guess that's how most of them fall. He had wisdom, though. Of that I have no doubt. The night Tenzin left, he taught me how the universe worked. I closed my eyes. I believe is most true. The roof of the Dreamtime Hotel was littered with Tenzin's. Gave me one long final grin, and I believe I'm immortal. And shimmering into nothingness long before the ground, scent is always.
I know the name. She's off the radio. Hard to get away from it in this town. In Birmingham, it was a man called Yuri Harris. He worked as a butcher. He beheaded all 3 girls within hours of each other. And we couldn't stop it. He pleaded not guilty for reason of temporary insanity. The Butcher of Birmingham received 3 life sentences and won't be seeing the light of day anytime soon. We know it wasn't him, though. We know it was a traveler.
To remember their names, but I can't. And then I realized that my family are all standing around me and they're all crying because I've forgotten who they are. Oh, Robin.
It's 9 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Investigations into the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw are continuing this evening. Miss Shaw was found dead in her home at approximately 10 p.m. last night in what police are describing as a puzzling case. Residents are urged to be cautious until the perpetrator is caught. I cannot stress this enough, August. Stay safe out there. You mean the world to me. In other news, Monroe has been detained on urgent business, so you're stuck with me until she returns. Never fear, Monroe fans. We still have lots of pre-recordings, so you can relax with her angelic tones. That's 9 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Emotions from the past.
Sam, I've got some heavy rain news. Lawrence Petrovsky, that's his real name. And no, he's not a Russian spy. But he does have a criminal record. He was charged with the murder of a 21-year-old artist. Looks like he got off on a technicality by all accounts. About 3 months ago in Hong Kong. Be careful, Sam. If you're going to ask him about this, it could be a flight risk. And you know, there's a good chance he could be the killer. Door's behind you.
Feels like it's full of grief. Robin, you're not alone. There's so...
You're the detective. Monroe just called. This is madness. Who would want to hurt her? We've worked together for years. She's the light to my shade, the angel to my demon, the diamond to my lump of coal. she told me to say all those things. Heavens, no. I have a wife and 3 children, beloved spawn of my loins. Monroe and I are good friends, that's all. Only a madman. Or woman. Monroe is August's sweetheart. Poe and Monroe, that was her idea. Our show. We were just another local radio station before that. It was Monroe who decided we should have a theme. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe. Don't tell me you haven't heard it, Detective. That's what the Free Radio Project is all about. Uniting August via the airwaves. Monroe's been delivering free radios anywhere people might want to listen. Doctor surgeries, hairdressers, the guest house. I believe she charmed the local electrical store into donating them, in exchange for free advertising, of course. We interviewed her about her scholarship not too long ago. Do you think whoever killed Dorota plans to kill Monroe? What makes you think she's in danger? Tarot? Does it have anything to do with the gentleman who stopped by? I didn't get his name, I'm afraid. He offered to do a spot on our show, doing tarot readings to answer listener questions. We said we'd think about it. You know, this town is fascinating. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Have you ever read up on the real history of August? The official story is that Mary August retired from a life on the high seas, found a nice spot here, and used her ill-gotten gains to establish a town. But that's not what really happened. It's true that Mary August was a pirate, but she didn't retire. Her ship was sunk on the rocks just off the coast. Mary and all of her crew sought refuge in a small fishing town, this one. Well, that's not the best bit, but maybe this story isn't for everyone. On that note, I should probably get back to the booth. The show must go on. Death threats be damned. Look after Monroe, Detective. She's the only Monroe I've got.
It's now 10 o'clock. Here's your August update. Investigations deepen into last night's murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw, a talented cellist who had recently been granted a place at Juilliard, was found strangled at her home last night. With the murderer still at large, Chief DuPont has urged residents to remain calm and stresses there is almost no chance of anyone else being harmed. Alice, if you're listening, let me know you're okay. In other news, a handful of August residents have reported seeing strange lights in the sky earlier this evening. The lights, which witnesses describe as searingly bright, were spotted over the east edge of town, past the fire station. Have you seen any strange lights? Or for that matter, little green men? Let me know. That's 10 o'clock with Poe.
August's gone crazy tonight. I've just got off the phone with someone who thinks they saw a UFO on one of the nights that Violet went missing. Aliens would be normal right now. Anyway, now you're here, it's time. What do you suggest we do with Alice Monroe? I'll send Danny over. And that means there'll be nobody at the guest house. So be extra vigilant.
What do you mean you're sticking me with Danny? Danny is basically due out of Scream. I'm a sitting duck. Isn't there anyone else? Chief DuPont? The only thing I've ever seen him run after is an ice cream truck.
Fine. Danny it is. I just hope you know what you're doing.
Thank you very much for the follow.
Sam, where the hell are you? On the road? Come to the station, now. Danny's disappeared and Ellis is dead. She's been strangled, Sam. How the hell did we let that happen? I guess you tried.
Oh, man.
She had the same gold coin in her mouth.
Man, there's gotta be a way to keep her alive.
It's
I
11
just don't
o'clock.
know it.
My good friend and co-host Alice Munro has died. Her life was ended a short while ago by, we think, the same person who murdered Dorota Shaw. I know that you are shocked and devastated and heartbroken by this news, as am I. There is nothing more I can say. I hope you will join me now in a minute's silence to remember Alice Munro. I have no more words.
Yeah, guys, that was so sad. I'm gonna be doing this game again. If anybody can help me figure out how to keep her alive, and I really support. Thank you, little mama, for sitting in, monitoring everything for me. You know. And we're just. I really wish. Thank you both. You know, little mama and I go back a long time, and let's see what happens next.
Sam, I have some bad news. We've done a group reading, and it's you. We can't predict that. The next victim, it's you. I'm sorry. I think you've interfered too much. That's why you're the next target. I've called Chief DuPont already. He's asked that you meet with him. You should go, Sam. Be careful.
And I'm towards
Sam,
the end now.
It's almost midnight. You're still alive. This is a good thing, but no one's even attempted to kill you yet. You've given me a lot of evidence, enough to arrest someone. But who? Make the right decision, and you should be safe. If we don't, well, we've all got to sleep at some point. I can get someone to guard your room at the guest house. Might not be enough. So, Sam, who should I arrest? During that whole thing with Alice, the only people I couldn't keep track of were Rain, Zach, and Violet. I don't want to believe it's Violet, but that's why you're here. You're impartial. Out of those three names, who was with Dorota at the time of her murder, or who has an alibi that doesn't check out? This is on you, Sam. Just give me a name. Rain. Agreed. He's got no corroborated alibis for any key times, and he's one of those tarot muppets I suspected all along. I was right when I said Bronwyn, because I knew it was one of them. I just didn't know which one. I'll pick him up. Just be careful tonight, Sam. If you've not done your job properly, killer's still out there.
We'll see how it plays out now.
Sam, you asked for these earlier. Make sure you get some sleep now. You'll need it. Night.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is Poe with your August update. We don't normally have them at this time, but since there's a killer on the loose, I feel it's my duty to keep the radio station manned. I personally spoke with Chief DuPont earlier, and he thinks they're close to catching the killer. Until that happens, though, please lock your doors and stay inside. Remain vigilant. The light has faded, and so has my fortitude. I see things in shadows, behind doors and under desks. I hear the chattering of teeth and the glee of insects waiting to feed on me. The studio undulates like a heart that beats its last beats. I can't go on. I must to bed. Forgive me, Lady August. Forgive me.
The minute of truth, everybody. If I did this right, I should live to see another day.
Hello, sleepyhead. I'm so glad to see you alive. Enjoy the journey, Sam. Don't think of things as ending. Something new is beginning. Rain is locked up. He's being charged for murder. Travelers don't like being incarcerated, so they'll have jumped realities already. It's not something that a jury will believe. The shell they've left behind won't remember what they've done. And spend a life in prison. All we can do is try and stop the next one. I still can't believe it was rain. I suppose nobody is immune. And now we're one short. Sam, come with us, please. We could really use someone like you and, well, just... will you? Really? Oh, Sam, that's wonderful. Let's finish packing and we can leave this afternoon. Sam, thank you. We're going to change lives, believe me.
Hey, sweet cheeks. You did good. Real good. You win. Alexi hug. Sam, I'm just going to say it because you only live once and all that. Sam, I think I've fallen for you. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. It's out there now. We can get on with our lives. I see. Nice thing. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Heart wants what it wants. Perhaps you should go for a while so I can have a little cry. I'll be okay though.
Sam, I guess you're on your way now. I don't often thank my guests, but thank you. I didn't think you had it in you. Well, I at least thought you'd run away at some point. But you didn't. You stayed. You've made August safe again. If you ever need a place to stay, you've got one here. Well, if I have a room available, that is. Take care, Sam.
Sam, you did good. I thought you would. I mean, not that I've got a signed confession or anything. Yet. Apparently, they don't remember anything about the murders, but Bronwyn seems pretty convinced it's over. Well done. I hear you're leaving town with the tarot readers. That's a real big shame. You were starting to fit in here. But good luck to you. You're doing what many of us have died trying. Leaving August. And I've stuck to my word. That problem you had, I buried it. The coroner's report is going to say the woman was dead when you arrived, not after. I don't personally believe in exorcism or anything like that, but over the last 24 hours, I'm starting to think things aren't as cut and dried as I'd like them to be. You're a good person, Sam. At least that's definitely how it looks from the outside.
I am Dorota. I am 21 years old. I love playing cello, and I just been awarded a scholarship to Juilliard. I just love cello. I love all string instruments, but cello is rich and deep and soothing, at least to me. No, cello is my hobby, but my real passion is... It's silly, it sounds silly. Well, I would like to build a time machine. I know. But it is possible. I think people make mistakes. They do things they regret and they say things they don't mean. I want to go back in time. I want to make better choices.
You know why you're here, don't you? Because you did well. And you know what happens when you do well? Augmentation. Congratulations, Agent 3.13. Welcome to 3.4.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the complete end.
Debriefing 3204, Birmingham. Transmit. And we're ready. Are you human? Debrief complete. Agent ready. You can go.
And I'll see you guys next time for another broadcast. I hope you enjoyed this. It's been over 2 hours for me to do this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the ending of the game. This will be up on YouTube. You can also follow me. My YouTube name is DJ Tom Slate. You can also find me on Instagram as OG DJ Tom Slate. You can find me on Snapchat as DJ Tom Slate. So, that's about it for today. Have a terrific day, my friends. Be well and be happy. See you next time.